hello there folks, and welcome back to the Whisky Friend with me, Alan. Today we're back with another brand new video. In today's video I'm continuing my little Glenfarclas journey. I'm following up my last review, which was the Glenfarclas 12. I'll pop a link to that above just in case you've not seen it and you may want to catch up with it. I'm going to follow up today now with the Glenfarclas 105 Cask Strength. It's 60% ABV, non-chill filtered and non-coloured. So this is probably going to be the highest ABV of the Glenfarclases that I'm about to review. So there'll be a bit, hopefully there's a bit of heat here, and if you're a Cask Strength lover then I'm sure you'll love this one. So before I crack on with the whiskey, just a friendly reminder from me to thee, is if you're popped in for the first time or you're a returning viewer and you've not quite hit the subscribe button yet, you may want to click that button down below. Don't forget to click the bell to be kept up to date to future notifications, and once you click that bell you're helping the channel on its way to the magical 1k. So now that the housekeeping's out of the way, let's crack on with the whiskey. So Glenfarclas 105, this has been, I've poured this about half an hour ago, so just to let it open up. I've got it covered up today with my little mashing drum, whiskey hat, challenge coin, whatever you want to call it. I must thank Jason C at the mashing drum for sending me this. Very generous, Jason, thanks very much. And he's sent me my typical coin number of 64, which will add to my growing collection of whiskey coins. That's super. Thanks very much, Jason. So, Glenfarclas 105, as I say, it's 60% ABV, non-chill filtered and natural colour, and I say it's bottled at Cask Strength. Just a quick thing that I've noticed on this, when I did Glenfarclas one before, what I remember from Glenfarclas 105, I used to remember it as a 10-year-old and bottled in first fill sherry casks, but this, to me, it looks like they've changed the makeup a little bit, because that doesn't look to me like a first fill sherry cask. That looks like it's probably ex-bourbon and ex-sherry. If someone knows any different, please drop me a comment down below, but I definitely think there's some sort of bourbon influence going on in that, but I'll let you know on the nose. So, Glenfarclas, yeah, great family-owned business. It's been in the Grant family ownership since the 1800s, 5 or 6 generations. I say it's totally independent, small distillery. They do everything their own way up there. Everything's produced on site, everything's stored on site. Fantastic distillery, and the whiskies are great. One of the most common things that I tend to find with Glenfarclas is the pricing. Their pricing's very, very competitively done. Just to give you an idea, this Cask Strength 105 is priced round about £50 in the UK. I'm not sure what it is in other territories, but just to get an idea, the 25, I think the 25-year-old, I think you can pick that up for about £125. So when you compare that to its peers, it's super, super competitive. The other one that tends to do that competitive pricing is, for me, is Glengoyne. But this, value-wise, it's 10 out of 10 for value. So let's crack on with the nose. You're only here for the whiskey. I love the whiskey and I love telling you about the whiskey, so let's see how it goes. On the nose it is 105. Wow. Like previous Glenfarclases that I've done, it's super, super sweet. Once you get past that high ABV and you're into the sweet, as I say, it's super, super sweet, but there's a massive, massive treacle, possibly toffee note that hits you straight away. Wow, wonderful, wonderful. And then it comes in, you get past the treacle, get past the toffee. There's lots of apples, lots of pears, some vanilla, some caramel. Wow, wow, wow. Like like the 12-year-old, I think the nose is fantastic, and considering this is 60% ABV, it's a wonderful, wonderful nose. Now picking up some dried fruit, some raisins, some figs, lots of sherry, and then there's some coffee right on the end of the nose. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Wow. Okay, just sets you up beautifully to have your first sip of that, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now, guys. So, slanch. Oh, dearie, dearie me. This is what I love about whiskey. Initially, on your first sip of that 105, it does a couple of things. It lets you know that it's cask strength. That 60% ABV, or that 120 proof, if you're on the other side of the pond, is very, very prominent. But once you get past that, it's all sherry, it's all sweetness, and then you get a big burst of black fruits, black cherries, plums, raisins, black currant, and then I'm picking up a touch of cranberry. A lot of people say about Glenfarclas they have that fruitcake note. I'm picking up a little bit of fruitcake here, but it's not as prominent a fruitcake note as it was in the 12-year-old. This is just hinting around there. Let's go for a second sip, see if I can pick up anything else. Okay, on that second sip, it's really oaky. There's a real oaky dryness, quite woody. If I was to break it down, abbreviate it, I think it's hot, powerful, intense, oaky, sherried, spicy, and fruity. So I'm going to try and break that down through the layers and tell you how I've got there. So initially on the arrival, it's hot, intense, it's powerful, it builds and builds and builds. In fact, it actually builds all the way through the development. So it's a super, if you like your cask strength whiskies, then you'll absolutely love this. Price point's at £50, which is an absolute steal for a cask strength whiskey. Don't know how they do it at Glenfarclas. But as I say, you get all those initial fruits. It's okay. It's spicy. There's a little bit of baking spices that hits you just at the beginning of after the arrival, beginning of the development. Bit of cinnamon. It's got a wonderful mouthfeel. As it develops, it touches a little bit nutty. So I'm picking up some walnuts, some pecan. Yeah, nutty. Picking up some chocolate and some coffee, some caramelized sugar. Wow, this is a lot more complex than the 12-year-old was. There's a lot more going on in this one. It's all layered around. It's spicy, it's chocolatey, it's fruity, it's apples and pears, it's dried fruits, it's raisins, it's figs, it's cranberry. It's got a whole lot going on there, but it's wonderfully balanced. It's got a wonderful mouthfeel. This is an absolute masterpiece piece of work by Glenfarclas. Picking up some raisin and plums now, and right on the touch of the end of the development, you're picking up that coffee note, and I'm getting a bit of leather, which I usually get from sherry whiskies. I pick up leather quite a bit in Glengoyne. But this is wonderful, wonderful stuff, guys. Let me just do a little bit on the finish before I conclude. Okay, that's changed a little bit. As you go through the development, guys, you're getting a lot. You're getting there's some chocolate, there's some fruit, and there's some nut. So it reminds me of a chocolate bar here we have in the UK, which is called Fruit and Nut. The emphasis here on this whiskey is on the fruit and nut, and there's a little bit of chocolate in the background. So it reminds me of that. But going into the finish, it's okay. The only thing that's kind of disappeared all the way through that, everything's holding its own all the way through, except the spice. The spice kind of diminishes a little bit as it gets towards the finish. So there's a touch on the finish, but it's really, really oaky on the finish. There's that oaky dryness. Some lovely wood in this. And then it's the fruits there, the sherry's there, and right at the end you've got that kind of leather and coffee at the end, and maybe a touch of chocolate. So all in all, this is a wonderful, wonderful dram, guys. So if you've had this, please drop me a comment. If you've not had it and you love Cask Strength whiskies, guys, this will give you as much enjoyment as anything Cask Strength. This is a top sherry. If I was to compare this to a sherried whiskey, it would probably be the Aberlour Abuna. The thing I would find with this, the similar strengths, but the thing I think with this compared to the Abuna, I think this is a little bit more consistent than the Abuna is. The Abuna batch variation's a little bit hit and miss. I think this is pretty much consistent, pretty much all every one I've had, it's been really, really consistent. So that would be my comparison if you were to compare two kind of Cask Strength whiskies together, be those two. This is not the type of whiskey I would give to beginners. This would be an established malt drinker, sherry lover, Cask Strength lover. This would be right up your alley. It's not one of those you would do as an everyday sipper. This is if you really want to have a good whiskey night and really, really challenge yourself, then this would be right up there. The everyday sipper for me would be the Glenfarclas 12 all day long. I could do that anytime. It's nice, it's light, it's summery, it's easy drinking. As this goes through, actually, it's quite easy drinking considering it's 60%. So it's something that seems to be a kind of distillery characteristic at Glenfarclas. So they're all very, very easy drinking, even the 60% ones. So that's pretty much me done, guys. As regards with water, I have tried it with water. It changes it a little bit. It makes it much more fruity, much more sweet. It does dilute the alcohol, which you would expect, though it doesn't lose its intensity, which is a surprise. It stays quite intense all the way through, but what it does diminish, the spice disappears a little bit, and it just becomes really, really appley, really, really peary, very fruity, and very, very sweet. The vanilla comes more prominent, and they say the kind of spice disappears, but I actually prefer it without water. That's why I've not done it with water today, guys. If you want to just test yourself and try it with water, then by all means have a go. I just prefer it myself without adding water. So that's me pretty much done covering the Glenfarclas 105, guys. I say my next one will probably be the Glenfarclas 15. I think, in fact, it will be the Glenfarclas 15, and then I'll follow that up by the 21 and the 25. Hopefully I can get a hold of the 30-year-old. So if you've liked what I've done today, guys, you've not hit the subscribe button, you may want to click that subscribe button down below. If you can give me the thumbs up, that would be fantastic. And once you click that subscribe button, guys, you're helping the channel immensely on its way to hitting that magical 1K. So until next time, guys, remember, I'm Alan, the Whisky Friend, and as always, guys, the pleasure is in the sharing, and then I'll see you soon. I look forward to catching you in the next one, guys. Bye bye.